Hello YouTube. What I have here is two engine stands. This is my good engine stand, and this is an engine stand that was given to me. What we're going to do is build a rotisserie out of it. Now in order to do that, this is slanted, and this actually has a 2-degree slant on it also, but I can correct this slant by putting a shim underneath the back so I don't have to modify my good engine stand. This one we're going to cut up, we got to raise it up, and we got to change the angle. Here we go with the first cut. What we need is the two tubes on the engine stands to be level and the same height from the floor. So what I need to do is get this one level because I don't want to do any modifications to it. It's 0. And if I measure between the caster and the floor, it'll tell me how big of a spacer I need between the caster and the frame of the engine stand to get my 0 degrees. And then I can get the length from the floor to the tube, and I can fabricate the other engine stand. We determined that we needed an 1 3/4 inch spacer to get the tube to be 0, and I've got to do this one yet, so let's do it. I dislike Chinese hardware. You can't even unscrew it without getting it stripped, so I'm going to have to cut it off. We'll drill these holes out to accept good old American 3/8 inch beefy bolts. We'll take the caster, the spacer, slip a bolt in, stick it in a hole, and these are difficult because you gotta balance the nut on the end of your fingers to get it on the bolt. And those ones in deep are tough to get. Let's tighten them up. Now, if we've done everything right, we should come up with 0 degrees. It should be level. Still rolls okay. And we have, with our spacers on the rear casters, we have exactly 0 degrees up and down, so it's level. And now I can measure the height and start working on the next one. Come a little closer.
Me?
Yeah. Okay, good. Now what we want to do is get level. Okay, oh, easy, go ahead. Stop right there, too much, go down. That's 0. That's 0.
This is past where I was earlier.
I'm telling you, it's 0. It says 0.
Okay.
All right, so what we need to do is mark that. I'm going to cut it along so that we have to trim it. But that should be it right there. I think that's good.
A little.
I think it's good.
It looks like we raised up a little bit.
Oh, put the thing on. What's it say?
0.02.
Point two?
0.2 up.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay.
0.2 is fine. It'll turn. Let's try that. gotta lift it up like that.
Well, no, it's resting. Both
Oh, that's right, that's right. You're right, you're right. Well, how about 0? You like 0?
Close enough.
I like 0.
The way we figured.
All right, let's weld that up. All right, let's check it one more time. Just set it on the... What's it say?
0.1.
I think 0.1 is fine. Oh, where did my cutoff wheel go? Oh, there, okay.
Move it out of the way so you can get welding around on it.
Alright, the idea is this bar is going to go across like that. Then we're going to put 2 tabs coming out from here, and we'll bolt it right there, and that this gets bolted to there.
Okay.
Alright, so you want to drill some holes?
You already set up the grind. More of an angle.
A little bit more of an angle. You want to round the edge off so people don't cut themselves. Yeah. All right, let me make sure it's in the right spot.
Yep.
All right, tighten it. Ray May drilled these holes under my direction such that they would fit in the slots that are already there, so we didn't have to drill any holes in the plate. But I've had second thoughts on that. I think I want this crossbar to be in the center of the center line of the tube that slides into the engine stand. So I'm going to drill 2 holes in this plate such that this crossbar is in the center of the tube, and that way it may spin better. I like to drill an 1/8 inch pilot hole to get my holes started. And now we'll drill a 3/8 inch hole for our bolts. Because this is a permanent part of my good engine stand, we'll put a little bezel on these holes just for it to look nice. We'll do that on the other side also. We'll bolt the cross member to the head of the engine stand and tighten our bolts up. And now we can take that and see how it looks on the frame. So here we go. If those bolts had been any longer, it wouldn't fit. I actually want to put this underneath like this because I think the center of gravity of the frame is lower than this point because it swoops down towards the center of the frame. We have the legs of the rotisserie bolted to the frame. We have the cross member jacked up against the bottom of the legs, and we have the tube that slides into the engine stand wedged up so that we've got exactly 0 degrees, and that'll match the engine stand. I think we can take the wedge, the jack stand, and the jack away, and it'll stay. What we're looking at here is the cross member for the rear of the frame. We have legs bolted into the holes that were used for the bumpers. The frame is not sitting exactly level. It's at 1.7 degrees, and if we put it on the cross member, we're at 1.7 degrees. So the cross member and the frame are exactly parallel to each other. We need the front and rear cross members to be at the same height so that the tubes are parallel and in the same plane. We have right here 22¼ to the beginning of the bend on the tube in the back here, and that's what we have in the front. So we're ready to tack this in. Oh yes, there is one more important measurement, and that measurement is whether this tube is level and we're at 0.1 degree. I'm not going to worry about 0.1 degree. Maybe I'll tack the ends here and twist it a little bit. With the tack at each end of our cross member and the tube twisted, we're now sitting at 0.0, and I'm happy with that. Now is when all the calculations and the angle finding comes to an end, and we see if we are successful. What we're going to do is lift the frame up and try to slide the tubes into the engine stands. This tube is slightly bent, so this is going to be a tough one. That one over there should slide in. My wife is going to balance the frame out. It's backhand heavy, and here we go. Okay, that one's on. Watch your fingers. Yeah, watch your fingers. Well, the engine stands go on. Let's see if they support the frame. Well, it supports the frame, and it turns real nice. Now what we got to do is see if it turns all the way. We got to remove the jack stands. Will it turn all the way around? It does. And it's balanced really nice. I think we accomplished what we set out to do. If you enjoyed this video, there'll be more.
That was pretty good. That was pretty cool.